XL, enter, and there we go. With my ortho on and my object snap on, everything except for nearest, I'm ready to offset these two lines. So let's offset the vertical line first, and I'll just do the whole width of this thing. It's 6 5/8. So, you know, I could do that as a incomplete fraction there, and multiply 6 times 8, which would be 48 plus the 5, and make that 53/8. So I could offset it that way. Oh, enter, 53/8. Or I could type out the decimal value. And the decimal value is 6.625. All right. Seem to have lost my vertical line here. Let me put one back. You know, it's interesting. If you have trouble with zooming in on construction lines is not so much an easy thing to do, but zooming in on object lines is. So if I were to go to my object layer, which I'm going to do right now, and make a line, just kind of a random line, not completely random, I'll make it 6 inches tall. And you can then zoom in on that object line by doing the Z enter, A enter, the zoom all. And but you can't do a zoom all on just construction lines because construction lines go forever. So little heads up there. If you want to do the zoom all, you have to have at least one object line on the screen. And I just did that to get my my reference here so that I'm at a good level of zoom, okay? So that is the overall height of the part, the 6 inches. And then again, that offset, which I just went over a moment ago, was the 6.625. And there it is right there. Okay, so next offset I'm going to do is the distance to the center of that hole, which is 1 3/4. So 1.75. And keep in mind, I'm doing this on the back side, so the hole is going to be over here. And then the next distance that they're showing us is 3 3/4. 3.75. There you go. And going on down the line, we have from the other end, we have a 1 1/8 and then 15/16. So I'll do those offsets as well. 1 1/8, which is 1.125, and then the 15/16. All right, so now I will throw those dimensions up there for you. Oh, look at that! I'm in my old dimension style, the one with the limits. Let me get out of that. Go to my annotation and choose the old standby there. Okay. So this first offset I did was the overall width, 6.625. And then we did one from the edge to there. And then we did one from there to there. And then we went back this way. We did that one from there to there. And this one from here to here. Oops, this one from here to here. So that is how they had it dimensioned for us on the instructions we got. All right. So that's exactly how I did that. If you'd like to see them all as baseline dimensioned, I can do that for you as well, from there to there, and from there to there. So there you go. Now you got all the vertical lines baselined off the left side there. Okay. So you might want to take a picture of that. I'm going to move on and do the horizontal line offsets now. Again, the overall height to this thing is 6 inches. There's that. And then the distance from the bottom up they're showing us to that sort of edge, kind of where that octagonal shape, it's kind of octagonal. It's 2 inches up from the bottom. So we'll say that is 2 inches up from the bottom. There you go. And then its center is 2 1/4 from that. So 2.25. That's the center of that hole. So those are the two big vertical offsets that we need. Nothing else is jumping out at me right now. I think we got enough to get started. So you know what? I take that back. Let's do this 5/8. I don't know if you see that 5/8 dimension, but we'll take care of that one right now. So coming down from the top, there's a 5/8 offset. 0.625 or 5/8. And there it is. So let me dimension those for you. The overall height was 6. And then coming up from the bottom, we had the 2. And then we had this guy as 2 1/4. And then they gave us this guy here as the 5/8 dimension. So that's how it's marked on your drawing. If you want to see that all as baseline style, I'll do that for you as well. There we go. To there. Okay. So as baseline style dimensioning, you got that 2, 4 1/4, 5 3/8, and then 6. Okay. So that's a shot there where you can see pretty much everything. Okay. Let's go to the object layer and start drawing this thing. So the most basic shape here is a box. This is the box that would contain the whole thing. And now we know there is this 5/8 corner to take out here. I did offset this one down this way. I do need to offset it on this side as well. So I'll just do that right now. And bump that guy over. So there's another 5/8 offset. And I can make a line that connects the two. There it is. And then I can just get rid of this stuff. All right, so that's the one corner. And then the big corner coming down here is the next question. And it looks like I might have to do another offset for that. That line comes down at a 45-degree angle. That's what they're giving to us. And they say that it starts from the lower end at 2 1/16. So I'm going to do that offset. 2 1/16 from the bottom, okay? Or I could just offset this line, because it's 2 inches up, 1/16 of an inch. And that's what I'm going to do. So O, enter, and I'm just going to type 1/16 and just offset this guy upward 1/16 of an inch. And now I know that the line I need to make, the object line, is going to come through that point at 45 degrees, right? We do not have a dimension to its exit on the top. So I actually need to draw that angled line. To do that, I'm going to go into my construction layer. I'm going to say X, L, enter, A, enter. And rather than be 45, I'm going to say -45 because I want it to point down. And there it is. So again, the angle on that line for the construction line is -45. All right. Or if you were doing it in a positive value, it would be starting from the 0 over here, it would be 90 plus 45, it would be 135. So either way, a positive 135 or a -45. And now that I have that guy, I can go back to my object layer and connect these dots. There they are. And then trim off this piece here and here. All right, and then just delete the rest of it. All right, so it's starting to take shape. Looking good here. How about we make that that slot that's here? And that's pretty easy. Just go to my object layer and just go straight down from here and then up to there. And there it is. That is that the slot that is 1 1/8 inches over from the edge and 15/16 wide. Okay. Looking pretty good for the contour. I do need to put in this hole, and there's going to be another hole over here. So let's work on that. The hole, I believe we have it located already with these two lines here. So I'm going to go to my circle and click that guy. And its diameter is 2 inches, so its radius would be 1. There it is. Okay. And how about the other hole? The other hole is 1 inch up from the bottom and 1 3/4 over from the edge. So its vertical center line is in line with this larger hole. Its horizontal center line, I do need to make that offset, and that's 1 inch up from the bottom. So O, enter, 1, enter. Boom, there it is. And then we'll draw this guy. And it's showing the larger hole's dimension as 1 1/4, and then the smaller hole as being 3/4. So we actually have 2 holes to draw here. So the outer one, I'm going to say D, enter, is 1.25. And then the smaller one, say D, enter, is the 3/4, 0.75. So there they are. That's what it would look like from the back side. Going pretty well. Really, all we need to do to finish the view off is do the hidden line that shows that sort of an octagonal shape. We don't need too much more for that. I'm going to go to my hidden line layer here and just show you what I'm talking about. I know that this line that's 2 inches up from the bottom is its edge, so that's it right there, and it comes out. And I know it goes to it's basically like that, because we've already made those offsets. The one thing I'm missing is the 5/8 corner, and it's showing that as 45 degrees. So again, that's a 5/8 offset on both sides. For fun, you know what, you could do a 5/8 fillet, and we could have done that up here as well. And I think I'm going to do that just for fun. You could offset these two construction lines 5/8 and then connect it if you wanted, or you could go to fillet command, F enter, and type the value. You know what? Fillet is not the one I'm after. Sorry, I'm going to chamfer, which is just a straight fillet. And to do the chamfer, you got to type the distance D, enter, and it's 0.625 for that one. Hit enter, and then again 0.625. And I click this guy and this guy, and voila. So I know I haven't shown you that chamfer before. I'm going to do that one more time because it's new. It's just like the fillet, except when you do fillet, you initially have to give it the radius, right? You type R enter to enter in the value of the radius of the fillet. But with a chamfer, when you click this little drop down and choose chamfer, you type D enter. Because you have to give the distance it is in on both of these lines, and usually it's the same. So you would type the value 0.625, hit the enter button, and then just hit enter again because it defaults to that value, and you're good to go. And then you can click on the both lines there, and it will do that, make that chamfer. So we could have done the exact same thing up here if we had wanted on that corner. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I think that is it for the what we are going to call the front view. Okay, and then we move forward on the right side, what we will call the right side view, and then the top view. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. And do get these offsets going for the top view. I like to give myself 2 inches in between these views just as kind of a default. So there's that. And then the thickness is 1 3/4. So 1.75. That is the main body. We then have another offset, which is the thickness of this octagonal protrusion, and that's 3/4. So I'm going to O enter 0.75 enter. So that'll be that part. I also have that slot cut, which is 3/4 from there. So if I show all of these guys to you, what I just did, the initial offset is this 1 3/4. Let me zoom in on that a little better. So that's how we first started making that guy. And then this protrusion right here is another 0.75. And then the cut that we're going to make for this slot right here, that distance is going to be also 0.75. So those were the offsets. If you would like to see that as baseline, it looks like this. There you go. 75, 175, and then 2.5. So that is baselining from the bottom there. Okay, so hopefully we have enough information to do this top view. Let's see what happens. Go to my object layer. I'm going to start off with a rectangle and say this is the main body of the object there. And then there's this cut right here, right? And then there's this the protrusion, the octagonal thing right there. So that's kind of the main shape. Trim that out. That's looking good. All right. And now we'll start to put some lines into place here. We got to show that chamfer there. And we'll trim this bit out right here. All right, so that's the one chamfer. And then this piece is all solid up to that point there. And on this line here, I guess we need to extend a construction line up to there. So let's do that. I'm going to go to my construction line layer and make a vertical line. Right through that corner. There it is. And pull that guy off to there. Okay. So that is the chamfered face. That is the face on top. And then it starts to do this angled thing. It heads on down. And yeah, I think that looks about right. Okay, so I believe that is the top view. I can show the hidden lines for these holes if I wanted. I could do that right now. And the underside of this protrusion, you know, that's super easy to do. It just goes through like that. We could do these holes really quick if we wanted to. Might as well. Go to my construction layer and run these lines through there. X, L, enter, V, enter. Get these edges. That one comes close. Be careful on that one. And then, of course, these guys. All right. This larger hole, it's pretty straightforward. The hidden lines just go through the whole thing. It cuts through the entire thing. So that's all there is to it. But this counterboard hole, which means it has a larger hole opening on one side than the other, is a little weird because at some point it transitions from the larger hole to the smaller hole, right? So where does that take place? Well, it tells us it takes place at 1/4 inches deep. So I need to offset this construction line 1 1/4 inches. And that's where it is, right there. It comes across there. I'll just bring this out further. So let me dimension that so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. That's the one I just did, that 1 1/4 inches. And that's where it transitions. So what that is going to look like is this. We're going to go from the larger hole at that depth into the smaller hole at this depth. So you can see it's just they drilled it larger on one side than the other. And that's usually because something like a bolt is going to fit inside of there, and this is going to be the head of the bolt, and then the rest of it, the shaft of the bolt's going to go through that part. Okay, so I believe that is it for the top view. And let's do this. Let's do this front view. I'm going to get rid of these guys. I'm sorry, the right side view. Let's do the right side view. Okay. Go to my object layer and see how far we can get. Rectangle tool for starters. And let's bring across where the slot intersects this angled face. So I'm going to bring across some horizontal construction lines here. So this guy from there and there and there. So now I've got all these points where these vertical lines intersect this angled face. That's going to help a lot so that I can draw this thing out in its entirety. All right. So that angle comes across there. So that's going to take care of a lot right there. When I go down from there, and I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff here. Trim that out. So again, this line comes across from the intersection of this angled face here, where this vertical line meets that horizontal line right there. And then the other thing I need to cut out on this face is where this slot is right here. Pretty straightforward. Just go from there to there. And then trim that out. Okay. And then I will put the line here where this guy comes across. Boom. And this goes down there. And we need one more construction line where this angle is. There you go. And then that line will come across on that guy there. Okay. I believe that is it for the object lines. And yeah. So now we can do the hidden lines, and we'll do these holes really quickly. There are no, actually there is an object hidden line. The one, that's this back corner right here. That would be a hidden line showing us where this chamfer is on the back side. I believe that is the only, nope, spoke too quick. Of course, there's this edge right here. So this line goes all the way down where that slot is. Okay. All right, so those are the two hidden line edges, and then we have this hole to deal with. Interestingly, interesting. I made a little mistake up here. Look at this. That line should have been capped off there. There it is. Okay. So let's draw those two holes. I'm going to need some construction lines for their edges. It's getting busy. Let's do this top one first. That's the easy one. So from there to there, and from here to here. Almost forgot that line. Having a little trouble grabbing that. Zoom in. There it is. Okay, so now we have the edges of the large hole going through everything. And now for the counterbore hole. To show that counterbore hole correctly, it's going to go through to this line here. And it has its larger diameter, so from there to there. So there's the larger diameter. And then the smaller diameter is just going to be from here to here. So yeah, that there's a lot going on here.